Welcome to the Manifestation Pod. We're Sam and Louise, two ordinary mums living extraordinary lives.
Every 2 weeks, we're diving into a new well-being, self-care or self-development topic that we've used to manifest a life of joy.
We want you to join us on this journey. We are all about building a community of people who are ready to do the same, manifest their best life, one step at a time.
So grab a cuppa, get comfy, and let's get started.
Hello, welcome back to the Manifestation Pod. We are episode 2, season 2. I did realise listening to other podcasts this week that no one else recounts what number it is or anything, but it seems really important to us as a milestone, so I'm sticking with it. Hi, Lou.
Hi, you okay?
Yes, very good, thank you. Yeah, have you noticed that about our number milestone?
I haven't, but you're right, nobody else does it. And I hate to pick you up, but it's season 3.
Did I say season 2?
We're on season 3.
Yeah. Anything, it helps with our timeline to remember.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And I think if we didn't count it, we wouldn't know where we're up to in terms of, we've done loads of pods, or, we've been really rubbish lately. So yeah, let's keep counting. We can do our own thing, can't we?
Exactly. Yeah. So we did miss a week, but we're back. And we're back on a very auspicious day because it is the 7th of the 7th today. And cosmically, it's a really good day for manifestation, meditation, really honing in on what you want to create, who you want to be, who you want to become. So it's a good day for the pod.
Love that.
Exciting. So we're talking today about a recap on Oracle cards from last season and an update on that, which is cool. And are we doing a little life update? Have we got a life?
Yeah, let's do a little life update.
How have you been?
Yeah, really good. So I've been ill for a couple of weeks. I've had loads of migraines, as you know, which hasn't been great. But touch wood, I've not had one since last Monday. And in the general pattern, that's a huge amount of time. But yeah, good. Had a great weekend. Went to Lincoln to a garden party. Had a lovely time with lots of women for breast cancer. It was like a breast cancer fundraiser. So that was really nice. Sat in the garden in the sunshine and ate cake all day.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was lovely. I'm going to Brussels next weekend. I don't even think I've told you that.
Yeah, where's that come from? That's exciting.
Just very random, yeah. Going to Brussels with Paul for the weekend. And then the weekend after that, we're going to Glasgow for the weekend, me, Charlotte and my mum. And then we're having a holiday in the Scottish Highlands for a week. So yeah, it's all about holidays at the moment.
Brilliant. It's all good, isn't it? What an exciting year you're having with all your...
I know.
Love it.
I know. Yeah, so that's it really. It's just all about holidays, packing and lots of washing. It's all good. What about you? I've spoken to you for a while.
I know. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Just doing my summer in the woods with Nidra, so that's keeping me very busy. And then yesterday, me and Iris went on a mums and daughters retreat, which was just beautiful.
I was going to ask how. I would have loved to have gone on that, but obviously Charlotte was away for the weekend, so it couldn't happen. But how was it? I was thinking about you.
It was so good. Just really simple, like you go in, you create a big bed for the two of you, and you just like rest and then do yoga and then listen to music and do some crafting and then some eating. And then we rowed a big boat on the lake that we were on at Rudyard Lake. I shared a nidra with everyone, which was lovely. And it was just really gentle, restful, fun. It was beautiful.
That sounds like a really nice Sunday to spend together.
Oh yeah, it is. Just to switch your phones off and just like do really simple things together and have no distractions from each other.
Yeah,
really nice. Really nice. And when I did my nidra at the end, Iris fell asleep like spark out fast asleep.
Good to know for the future.
I know it doesn't happen every single time I do it with her, but the last few times it's absolutely wiped her
Love that.
out. Bless her. And I've just dropped her off. She's going on a residential for the next 2 days with school. So
Oh,
she's
wow.
really exciting week. So that was quite hectic getting all that sorted this morning.
Yeah, I bet.
So left her in the car park, dragging all the bags along the floor, Yeah, all good in the hood. I did have a little business blip last week, which I will tell just for balance. So no one booked on to my woodman classes last Thursday. And it really knocked me. Like, not my confidence, but I don't know. There was like a part of me that thought I'd done something wrong and got like really upset about. Um,
Right.
which was interesting because usually I'm pretty easy breezy with things like that. I'm like, well, it's not tonight. I've got extra time. It's all good. But yeah, there was something that hit me, and I just woke up feeling really sad the next day. So yeah, I've been working for a bit of that as well, for a little bit of balance there.
Yeah. And I think I sent you a message about that.
Mm.
You more than anyone believes in the universe. It just clearly wasn't meant to happen. People have got lots going on at the moment. It was probably to do with them, not you. You've not done anything wrong. It's just the timing wasn't right. It is what it is. Maybe you needed to rest. Maybe the universe was saying, actually, she's doing quite a lot at the moment. She
Mm.
needs energy for your retreat this weekend. You needed energy for sorting all the stuff out for Iris going away. Maybe it was about I'm getting to really believe that, as I'm getting older, if it's just not happening, it's just not meant to be.
Exactly, yeah. And all the rejection is protection. I know it wasn't rejection, but when something goes as you don't expect it to, it's kind of like, well, I'm being protected from something because,
Yeah,
like you say, my energy's needed elsewhere.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just interesting though, isn't it? No matter how much work you do, no matter how good you're feeling, because I was feeling really good last week, sometimes just that little bit of shadow just pops up of like, well, actually, there's still something that you need to just move through sometimes.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Like
that's good.
good balance, yeah.
Yeah,
So, Oracle cards. So, was it last year or earlier in the year?
it was November.
It was November. Oh, well done.
Yeah. I know that because it was near my birthday. And
Mm.
I had a really weird birthday last year because I had a very busy week and did something pretty much every night. And then my birthday was on a Friday. Oh, and when you don't think things through, because I'd had a really busy week and I'd been out loads, I thought, oh, I'll work from home on Friday and have a dead quiet day. And what actually happened was I felt really lonely and really like, oh my God, I'm all on my own on my birthday. I should have booked the day off and done something, but I didn't because I had loads of other stuff going on. So I wasn't at home feeling lonely because I've got no one to do anything with. I had a really busy week, had a really busy weekend, but just on my birthday, I just kind of hit a wall. It was really weird. And the actual day was quite not great. So that was going on in my mind when you did the Oracle cards. And I think I talked at the time about I had issues with a couple of people in my life that were just not serving me, Matthew being one of them, a family member being the other. And both of those relationships have come to an end. And I think coming up to your birthday, you're always a bit more reflective, aren't you, around your birthday? Because it's like a new year and you're a year older. And it was coming into Christmas. The weather's always a bit crappy. And I think I was just feeling, yeah, a little bit lonely and a little bit lost, really. But I knew that these changes were really good for me and I just had to plow on through. And it seemed like the Oracle cards, what word am I looking for? Backed that up. What's a better word for that, Sam? Confirmed that.
Mm.
Everything you read out to me it was basically saying, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
It's for the greater good. And I knew that, and I knew it was a blip, and I knew, you know yourself, don't you? If it's winter, you're not feeling your absolute best. And I was just thinking, just need to get through it, just need to get through it. And that lasted off and on right through till Christmas, because then something else happened at Christmas and things kind of came to a head. But then I went into the new year feeling much better, much more positive, feeling like, thank God, the back end of that year was over because it was quite tough. I'm feeling quite hopeful. And then, and this is what I really wanted to talk about. So we've talked about boundaries, which we're going to talk about again in a minute. I feel like putting really strong boundaries in place, which I do with probably 80% of people, but there's always the awkward people that you have difficult relationships with.
Mm.
And I've kind of cut those people out of my life now. So I maintained like really strong boundaries. That led to a couple of relationships ending. And then I knew, because we've done the work, that that opens up gaps for other things to come in. And then I met Paul, and that's been life changing in that this is someone who I feel really comfortable with. I have a really good time with. I feel really deeply about him already. It's been what, 4 months, 5 months, and this is going to be a long relationship. This is going to be an important relationship, and I really feel that. And I've never felt like that before with anyone. It's always been a bit suck it and see, which is normal, isn't it, when you start seeing someone? But this feels very different, and I do really now truly believe that, oh God, if you've got shit in your life, you've got to get rid of it. If you And it's not just about relationships, it's about anything else, work, jobs, houses. If it's not serving you, you've got to get rid, because the good stuff cannot come while that's going on.
Mm. Yeah, it's so, so true, isn't it? And
Yeah.
I remember around the time we kept saying that, we kept like focusing on that. We are like, you've got to make space for the good stuff. And that's all this is. It's a bad time of clearing out and making space.
Yeah.
At the time, that can be really hard because you can't really see what you're making space for, can you? Like, if you clean out your
No, you can't.
no, clear out your garage. You're like, I've made space now. I can see it. It's there. I can do something else with it. Make it more purposeful. It's great. But if it's people in your life, you're just like in a painful place, moving on from them, but you've got no sight of what's coming next. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think particularly with relationships, and I've had this conversation with one of my friends years ago. She was in a relationship that wasn't serving her, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want to be on my own. I don't want to be on my own." And I said, "You're scared of that because you've not met Mr. You man yet.
Mm,
So you can't picture it. You can't feel what that's going to feel like. But when you meet them, you're like, oh my God." And this is exactly how I feel. I was like, oh my God, he's here. This person that I've wanted. And because of strong boundaries, I know exactly what I'm looking for. And he's just arrived. And you know what? It's been the easiest thing ever. That's another thing. It's been so easy. The easiest relationship I've ever had. That sounds boring, and it absolutely isn't. It's just, I feel like he is home.
yeah.
That's how I feel.
Mm,
And I have no desire to rush anything, to live together, to move it forward, to rush it on. I have no desire to do that. I just want to do what I'm doing, date him, take it easy, have fun, enjoy it, savor it. But I know he's a keeper.
yeah. That's when we know, isn't it? When it's easy and effortless.
Yeah.
You're not pushing it. That's when we really know. It's so easy to forget that though when you're in the
In the moment, in your life. Yeah, it really is. And a quote that I read recently, which I wanted to say in our last podcast, and I couldn't remember it, and it wasn't even a quote. Well, it kind of was. But I've also had a conversation with another friend at the moment who's going through a really bad time. And you know, when you're going through a bad time and you know what you need to do, but it's so scary. So you're thinking, well, I'll try this and I'll try that and I'll do this and I'll try and make this work. But you know, none of that's going to work. What you actually need to do is get rid effectively. And I read this thing on Instagram, and I swear to God, I'm going to get it printed and have it in my office because it's the best thing I've ever read. If your life were a movie in the cinema, what would the audience be screaming at you now?
mm,
And we all know the answer to that.
yeah, yeah,
When
really.
we're in that things aren't feeling right, and you've got that really knot in your stomach, that uncomfortable feeling that you know something's wrong, what would the audience be screaming? You know what it is. And we
Mm,
just avoid it, don't we?
yeah,
We try everything else to go all around the houses, to try every little thing we can to not make that big decision, because that big decision's so scary. But that big decision, actually, once you've made it, one, it's quick and easy and saves a lot of time from going around the houses. And two, when the dust settles, you're in such a better place.
Mm, yeah,
And we know it, but it's so bloody hard when you're in the middle of it.
I know exactly. When you're grown up with a whole life and responsibilities and all that, it's just not as simple, but it should be. It absolutely should be because, like you say, that's such a good quote to remember. You definitely should get that put up.
I'm definitely going to. I love it, and I've remembered it as well. I think about it a lot. Like,
Mm.
what is the audience screaming at you? And you're like, oh my god, I know exactly what they're saying. I know what they're saying, but I'm going to ignore them. So yeah, I think if we all did that with we've all got an area in our life that we know isn't serving us, isn't working, and we just need to we just need to be brave, don't we?
Mm, yeah, we do, don't we? We do.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Oh,
But
absolutely, it really is. But if we can believe in, I don't know, the universe, God, whatever, Buddha, whatever we believe in,
mm,
we know that it will be for the greater good and that you will be all right. We'll always be all right.
yeah, yeah, it's that whole trust and surrender piece. And when I was listening back to that Oracle card episode, that's what I was like remembering that the cards were just kind of saying, like, yeah, it's shit right now. But if you would just trust and just let go a bit and just let it unfold, it will all come good. And that applies to every situation. Like, stop trying to control it and push it and pull it and force it. Just trust that, like, you're being looked after. There's good coming, but sometimes you've just got to go through the crap first to
Yeah,
get the good.
yeah, exactly. And I think if you don't do it soon enough, and I had a conversation with Paul yesterday randomly about someone in his life who has just ended a relationship
Mm,
that should have been ended a long, long time ago. And that person is now at the very angry stage of, I've wasted 8 years of my life
mm, yeah,
unnecessarily
yeah.
by my own doing. And I've been in that situation where you just think you get to that point of anger of thinking, what an idiot I've been. Why didn't I do that sooner? And sometimes it's for, a million reasons and everything happens at the right time. But yeah, oh God, if I could say anything, I feel like I've become a guru about this. If I could say anything to anybody listening, going through something shit, and you know what it is, and you know it's making you miserable, be brave.
Yeah.
Be brave and just make that change.
Mm, yeah. Powerful words.
Yeah.
Words, Lee. But well fought words. Like you fought for that clarity and
It
that.
took me 52 years to get to this point. It really has.
Yeah, absolutely. And through times of making those hard decisions and going through a lot, you know.
Yeah. Another really small little analogy, but it made me laugh. I was with my mum on Saturday at this garden party. She told a story which I forgot about, but my mum is very stick with it, stick with it and work through it. Complete opposite to me. And she learned to drive later on in life. And she had this driving instructor who was male, who was a shit driving instructor, basically. And I kept saying to it, get rid of him. He's not putting you in for your test. You've been having lessons for bloody ages. You've got absolutely zero confidence, even after all these lessons. Get rid of him and get my old instructor because she's brilliant. No, no, he's been good to me. And I feel like, I don't want to get rid of him and all these bloody excuses. And I was like, you've got to, you've got to. Anyway, the penny dropped eventually, not because of me, because of something he said about, I think she was out driving with him. He said, oh, you see that woman over there? I teach her to drive. She's rubbish. And he said that about another pupil. And my mum kind of thought, if she's rubbish, it's because you're rubbish.
Mm,
I'm going to get a new driving instructor. So I put her in contact with my old one, who was an amazing driving instructor, and she was female. She passed the test within about 2 months. That never would have happened with that old guy. And she made every excuse under the sun to stay with him. And he was a bloody driving instructor. And that is what we do, isn't it? I mean, that's like, it's not life changing. Well, it kind of was, but it's a little thing. But we do it with the little things as well. And do you know what? Sometimes that's fine. But with the big things, we absolutely, as women particularly, owe it to ourselves to have the best life we can, because the only people stopping us with decisions like this is ourselves. This is not something being inflicted on us that you can't change, because we go through stuff in life as well that we have no power and no control over, and it's shit and you have to deal with it, and that's life. That's what it is. But these things we can change.
Yeah, exactly. Relationships, workplaces.
Yeah, houses, your life, if you're unhappy with your life, if you're in a happy relationship and you've got a good job, but you're just feeling that something's missing, look at your life. What are you doing on a weekly basis? And what do you want to be doing? And do they align? Mix it up, change things. There's only us that have the power to do that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's a perfect day to do it as well. And we're going
Yeah.
the next 24 hours. I mean, we'll get the pod up today so people can listen to it today. But, just in this energy in the next 24 hours, just, what are you here to do? And what do you want your life to become? And just spending a bit of time on that.
I'm going to do that today.
Me too. Me too. I'm going to do it right after this pod, I think. Go and get my yoga mat out and get outside and have a little think. Maybe a little write. Maybe a little chat with the universe.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I've got acupuncture tonight with that lady that you recommended. So while she's doing that, if she's not chatting to me, I might have a little think then while I'm lying down with needles in me.
Good one. It's a very good one.
Hmm.
So, shall we pull some new oracle
Let's
and see what they have in store for us? So we touched on this last time. So oracle cards are just a really beautiful way to help you tune into your own intuition, really. So especially on days like today, if you're like, well, I want to manifest or think about stuff, but I don't know where to start, or I can't think, or you want clarity on what you are thinking about, oracle cards are great for that. Millions of little sets that you can get. We're using the Super Attractor deck from Gabby Bernstein because we used that last time we did this and it worked nicely. So let's give it a go. Did you get any oracle cards after last time, Lou?
No. So it's a bit of a story and it's not even particularly interesting, but I went to get some. They were in Waterstones, but I couldn't, they were expensive and I couldn't open them to have a look at them, and I really wanted to see them. And so, no, I didn't, but I'm going to write it down again.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to have some. And I'd forgotten as well about you and your tarot. Have you used your tarot since?
Funnily enough, I used it last week.
Really?
Yeah. I can't quite remember what for, but I think I had a question. It was a yes or no question, and the card I pulled was a yes answer. And it kind of made sense. I wish I could remember it now. I should have really thought about that. I'll think about it for our next pod, and I'll try and remember what the question was and what card I got.
Yeah. And next time we're at your house, we definitely need to do them together.
Yeah.
I've not done that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that I've not done them for ages, but yeah, I did them last week.
Funny. Cards just jumped out at me. Do you know, the more I work, there we go. The more I work with cards, because I do it every week with the knitter and everything, the more they're like physically jumping out at me.
Really?
Them. Yeah, which is really interesting. So all of mine jumped out then. Wow. Okay. Right, let's do yours first. So I've done the 4-card spread again. So this Wheel of Wisdom spread. So the first card is about what you know about the question or the situation that has come up.
Okay.
Ooh, spiritual alignment puts manifestation into action.
Okay. What does that mean?
Oh, so getting aligned with your spirituality will make your manifestations move.
Right, okay. That's interesting.
That's really interesting that you've done the tarot last week.
Yeah.
Very rarely do that. Like that.
I can't remember when I last did it. And it was literally, it wasn't even early last week. It was about Friday.
Mm,
It was a couple of days ago. I can't remember why I did it. I was looking for something that's in the box where the tarot cards are kept.
mm.
And I saw them and I thought, ooh. And I had this question in my mind. I thought, well, I'll do them now.
Yeah,
So yeah,
interesting. So
maybe I need to explore that a little bit more.
yeah, whatever you do for your own spirituality, just try and do a bit more of it this week and get in alignment.
I'm going to do one after this pod.
Absolutely. The acupuncture will help as well because that'll like clear space and May's an energy healer and worker, so that'll definitely help with you.
Yeah.
So that's good. Exciting. Okay, so the next card is about what you can't see about the problem. And so it says, my true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe.
So go on, what does that mean?
It's a long one, but alignment, it's interesting that alignment's come up again. Um, but to me, that is just saying that like you truly, truly feel safe when you're aligning with your spirituality and your belief in that thing bigger than you and the love and magic that all of that brings.
Which we've just kind of touched on, haven't we, in the trust in the universe that everything's going to be okay. So keep doing more of that, presumably.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Keep in alignment with that and don't forget it. Don't get too busy doing.
Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like recently there's been a lot of doing and a lot less reading the books that I like and doing the self-development stuff. And I really want to kind of get a bit of maybe a morning routine where I'm doing something. Not sure what that something is yet because I'm interested in all different aspects of it. But, just feeling the way we feel when we do more of the work. So, yeah, that's very interesting.
Sounds like it's calling you to it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of love in this. Okay, so I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love.
I love that.
It's lovely. And so this one is like sort of the grounded action to take. So yeah, embrace the habit of love, which is very on point for where you are in your life, isn't
It
it?
is very on point. Yeah. I'm definitely embracing it and feeling the gratitude.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. Okay, in stillness I receive is the last one. So this is like, I don't know, a possible outcome to your question is I guess what this one's for. So that one's definitely calling for you to slow down a bit and get quiet because that's about being still and receiving that spiritual alignment, those messages, that inspiration, whatever you need by being a little bit more still.
I like that.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel lately I've not had time to think about anything, which has been fine. You don't always have to think and be deep, do you? Sometimes you can just do stuff. But yeah, yesterday I felt very overwhelmed all day.
Mm.
Not in a particularly strong way, but I just felt I needed some literally quiet. There
Yeah.
was a lot going on Saturday. There was a lot going on Saturday night. Went out Saturday night. Sunday I was out all day, and last night I just felt like I just wanted quiet, no conversation,
Yeah.
just some peace and quiet. And I felt yesterday. So at one point, I was in the car with Paul, and he had the radio on, and he was talking to me, and I was literally thinking, I can't do this. I cannot have that radio on and listen to it. It was just too much for my little brain yesterday. It was so weird.
Mm.
Um, so then me and Charlotte last night just had a really quiet night in front of the TV,
Mm.
watching something that required no brain capacity at all. And I really needed that to just decompress.
Yeah.
And today I'm having a very quiet day.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I've got quite a quiet week. It's the same going to Brussels on the weekend.
Mm.
I've got a very quiet week this week. I've got literally a few bits on the calendar, but nothing mega.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to this week.
Yeah. Sounds exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, thank you. Are you going to do yours?
I pulled mine as well. So I've sent you a picture of mine. If you, no, I will send you a picture of yours. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So my first card is I accept that good things come easily and I am a super attractor.
So that's interesting in relation to your forest
Business.
thing.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, it is. And how I was feeling last week because it's really easy to quickly fall into like, it's not happening for me. I'm not good at attracting. These things don't come easy. It's really quick and easy to fall into that headspace. But I managed not to, and I need to fully remember that good things come easily, and I do attract them as a super attractor.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe that situation, maybe that was the universe giving you what you needed at that particular time, which was actually no one booking on. You might not know the reason for that. You might not need to know the reason for that, but it just is what it is. You've just, as a human being, took the negativity out of that situation, haven't you? And focused on that to the point that you've done something wrong and nobody wants to do this with you on that particular Thursday night. When actually, if you think about all the people you meet in your life now with the people in it, particularly from a work, spiritual point of view, you know that isn't true at all.
Exactly, exactly. I said it was interesting because the course of my Friday changed as a result of what happened on Thursday night and how I felt. And I ended up going to a community of people on Friday morning because I felt sad and getting some business coaching. So there's first detour because of that.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. But what they reminded me of was that I am no longer a burnt out, frazzled woman. And there is a big part of me that's forgotten what it's like to be that burnt out, frazzled woman. And,
Yeah.
I'll go back there often. I was there, before Christmas last year. But at this moment in time, because of everything that's happened this year, I've actually forgotten what it's like to be that burnt out, frazzled woman. And that's the person that I want to come to the woods and that I want to help. But because I've forgotten what it's like, there's a bit of me that's stopped talking to that woman when I'm trying to attract them in as well. So it was a really, really good reminder of that.
Yeah. That is good. And actually, something else, you had a movie night on Friday night with your family.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And maybe if that hadn't have happened and you've not felt like that, you clearly, and as soon as you told me about your movie night, the
Mm.
first thing I thought of was you've gathered your loved ones round you because you felt that you've needed that
Yeah.
subconsciously, that closeness, that togetherness, that bunkering down, that warmth of having a family night with your loved ones. And you had an amazing night.
Mm.
That amazing. You told me about it. You watched the film. In the great scheme of things, it's not newsworthy, is it? But it was newsworthy enough because of the way you felt about that night. Now, that may not have happened if you had a super Thursday night and people had booked on. You might have thought Friday night, I need to be doing more marketing. I want another one of those. You might have had a completely different night. And maybe it's not even about you. Maybe Iris needed
Yeah.
a mum there on Friday night,
Mm.
and that wouldn't have happened. The point I'm making is we never know what's going on with other people, and we never know why we're doing a certain thing at a certain time.
Mm. This is it. We've just got to trust. I've
Yeah,
got to trust. And then yeah, the next card. When I cultivate a spiritual connection, I can trust the universe no matter what.
exactly.
Exactly. What you said, what we said. Oh, and then this couldn't be better as grounded action, directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. So
Yes.
there we go. Yeah. Yeah. So Thursday's gone. Last Thursday's gone. Let's focus on what is thriving.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, maybe because of where you are at the moment, you are speaking to like-minded people.
Mm,
And maybe you do need to kind of redirect to people that aren't feeling that. Maybe people that are, because I think when I'm feeling frazzled,
mm,
the last thing I want to hear is someone in the woods going, "Oh, I'm feeling so peaceful." I'd just be like, "Oh, fuck off. I've got a pile of washing to do.
yeah.
Lucky you." So maybe you need to, redirect some marketing to the mums that are like, would you want some me time? Yeah, maybe it is the university that, guiding you to reach out to the people who truly need it.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
perhaps you are getting people that are very like you. Like I would come along and I would benefit from it, but I wouldn't benefit from it as much as someone who was at burnout point.
Mm, yeah, exactly. And it's just like that good reminder of I don't need to water down or change what I'm doing, but I do
No,
need to remember who I want to help
yeah,
to speak to them. So yeah, and I have actually got like a little bit of business coaching support to get me there as well, which
yeah.
I really need. I mean, you know how much I love coaching. I've not done business coaching for a while, so it just feels like it's time to step that kind of stuff up a bit.
And you wouldn't have got that, would you, had Thursday not happened because it wouldn't have been on your priority list.
I know, I really wouldn't have because
Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't. I knew at some point I was going to, but I didn't know when, and I'd not had a push. So yeah, maybe that was the push I needed.
yeah. And maybe, and we know this, but we don't always live by it. When something happens, look for the lessons in it because there's always a lesson. We always, as human beings, as women particularly, go to oh, no one loves me. When
Mm,
actually, there's a whole other load of stuff going on that we just need to tap into and go, actually, what's really happening here?
mm,
You've had the business coaching, great outcome. Unite with your family, great outcome.
mm,
Thinking about, reaching out to burnt out, frazzled people, because you're right, you don't need to water down what you're doing or change what you're doing, but you do need to remind people, because I don't think you've talked about it for quite a while. Where you are now is great, but where did you come from? You were that person. And
mm.
that's what they need to see, that or hear, that's where you were. You've not always been like this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know it's a good.
Because that would make me go, that's where I want to be.
Mm,
That's where you were. This is where you are now. I want a piece of that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I'd definitely kind of lost sight of that. So yeah, it was a very good business coaching session. It got me
Love that.
really good. And I've got a
Oh, yeah.
little check-in with them today as well. So it's
Oh,
like
I love that.
in it up the momentum as well.
Yeah. Which is, propelling your business forward, which is what you want. Because as much as you love doing all this, it is actually a business as well. And you do, you need to be moving it forward and making money and growing and evolving and stuff. So, yeah, that's great.
Exactly. Big shout out to Lucy Rennie, the amazing business coach. Okay, last card for me then. I let the universe catch up with my dreams. Um, which is interesting, isn't it? So much has happened and changed, and dreams and everything has like expanded and evolved for me this year. Maybe that's a little like, yeah, let's just, catch up,
Yeah.
not add any more for now,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that.
and concentrate on the ones that are thriving to create more of them.
Yeah.
Also, well, let's see where that takes us in 6 months' time or whenever else we remember to come back.
Yeah, we should definitely revisit that because 6 months would take us after Christmas. So, yeah, maybe we should do a January, new year, new start, and all that. See where we are then.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome. Brilliant. So, wherever you are in the world today, do some manifesting, do some thinking, maybe
Yeah.
get some oracle cards out, whatever works for you to just focus in on where you want to be, who you want to become. Put it out there to the universe. Speak it, write it, think it.
And then go for it.
Mm.
Because there's nothing to be frightened of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when it feels really frightening, just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah, keep moving.
You never hear of, like, I was thinking about Facebook. If you think about, for example, a woman leaving an abusive partner, so think about all these DV cases we hear of, and you hear about women being killed all the time by the partners. You never ever hear a woman say, I was with an abusive partner for 20 years or however long. I left him. I took the kids. I started a new life. You never ever hear anyone say, oh, I wish I'd never done that. I wish I'd stayed. Do you?
No.
I know that's an extreme situation, but in lots of situations, we make decisions all the time, and some feel very big. And even if you can't see why you've made it, or it might not pan out immediately, if you stick with it, it always comes good. And then if you look back to where you are to where you were, you can really see that change.
Yeah. Yeah. Another good reason to make those changes.
Yeah, no one ever regrets it. You leaving your full-time job. Did you think on Thursday night, oh my God, I need to go back to HMRC?
Oh, would I ever think that?
Exactly, exactly. So we just have little bumps in the road in our new life, don't we? But oh yeah, if anyone's feeling like they need to make a big change, I could almost beg people, please do it. Please put yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely. What a lovely way to end it. Put yourself first.
Put yourself first, absolutely, because no one else will.
Very true. Very true. Ah,
Yay!
that was a lovely episode. Thank you for listening. We will be back hopefully in 2 weeks if all goes well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us today on the Manifestation Pod. We hope you feel inspired to start creating the life that you've been dreaming of.
Remember, we're all in this together and we'd love for you to be part of our community. So don't forget to subscribe, share and connect with us on socials.
We're here every 2 weeks, so catch us next time with more tips and tools to help you manifest the life you deserve.
Until then, keep believing, keep manifesting and keep living that extraordinary life. Bye.
Bye.